Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning in to Salome Says, where you'll learn to live authentically and understand that you are uniquely you, and that is your power. That is your God-given power to tap into that uniqueness of yourself. All things that make you who you are, all right? So this channel helps you realize that and tap into that and start to live life on your own terms, all right? So I'm using this channel to share my experiences with you because I've come to terms with knowing and realizing that if I am going through certain things, I'm sure there are people out here going through something similar, all right? And I want to be able to use my experiences to help people connect and understand that there is hope. Understand that there is another way of life, and this is my way of just giving back in some way, because since I'm able to talk about my experiences and everything that I have been through, and that's helped me come to terms with who I am and to get me to this point of life, I want to share that. So you too, hopefully it resonates with just one person, so you too can get to that place, okay? I am using my experiences to help you understand and relate to the fact that we are all the same. When it comes down to it, that's just all it is. We are all the same and going through similar experiences. I'm just hoping that this channel will help someone connect with their inner awesomeness, all right? And begin to live life on your own terms, like I said. Because we want you to get to that point where you know you're awesome and nothing can take that away from you, all right? With doing so, though, by connecting to your inner awesomeness, you're going to have to dig deeper. You're going to have to dig to get to that point of identifying the patterns and way of life that you have been accustomed to, okay? You're going to dig deep to getting to know who you are as a person, okay? And now, once you have identified those patterns and way of life that no longer serve you, you can then realize that there is another way. Another way of life, another perspective, a different perspective of looking at things and taking control of your life and the way you see the world. It is so important that we're able to do that, okay? And that's what this channel is going to help you realize. This channel is going to help you come to terms with knowing who you are authentically, knowing that you're unique, and living in your power, all right? So with that being said, it brings me to today's topic of getting to a place of knowing who you are, to the point where you no longer have to feel the need to be jealous of someone or something. All right? I wanted to touch on the spirit of jealousy that hinders your ability to see things objectively. All right? And that's what the spirit of jealousy does. It hinders your abilities to see things objectively, where you are stuck in a pattern that you have been accustomed to, where you can't see anything else, all right? A lot of times we see people or something about a person that we admire, right? Usually, but because of our inadequacy that we just have not come to terms with yet, or maybe even acknowledge, we find ourselves trying to bring that person down by all means necessary, because we feel inadequate of some sort, some kind of inadequacy, that we are going out of our way to bring that person down, even though that's a part of us that admires that person, a part of us that want what that person has. Just the person, period, just want something from them. But because the spirit of jealousy is there, that comes with the ego, it doesn't allow us to move past that point, right? So what do? We start to undermine the person at times. We'll criticize them for their God-given talents and abilities. We find ourselves doing that. Or just, criticizing the person for who they are, or just how happy they may seem. We find ourselves doing those things usually, right? And then, well, what happens is we fail to entertain the idea that that person has been through a lot of things that has gotten them from point A to point B. We fail to take into account all the obstacles that that person may have gone through, all right? And everything they have been faced with, we fail to take that into account, that all of those things have made up this person into what you see today that you don't know anything about, all right? The person that you are being jealous of some sort, you don't understand everything they've been through. They may have gone through to get them to that point, all right? We don't even understand the unhealthy coping patterns that they use, that they had to get over, usually. Because a lot of times when we don't know ourselves and the feeling is so intense, we tend to lean towards some unhealthy coping strategies to get us through, because we don't want to deal with it. We don't even know how to deal with it usually, all right? All the sleepless nights that person have had to endure, all the doubtful periods of their lives where they didn't know which way to turn, where to go. Everything that makes up this person now that you see, you have no idea everything they have to go through, all right? So now all you see is the smile on their face, the glow that this person has, and the fact that this person has come to terms with who they are. They're working hard and continuing to work hard to accept themselves and everything about them. And we wonder how they are the way they are. We wonder what makes her unique. We wonder, how is she smiling all the time? We wonder what makes her tick. We wonder, why does she have such a great energy and great spirit? Not knowing everything this person has gone through to get them from one point to the other. All right? But that's what the spirit of jealousy would do. Will hinder you from doing that, okay? So in my work, I realized jealousy and envy just comes from a place of lack. We are lacking something within us. That's why we're even entertaining the spirit of jealousy in the first place. And with that comes an ego that's underneath it all, okay? That hinders your ability to ask for help. So you have this jealousy going on, and that's an ego at play underneath it all. What does it do? It hinders your ability to even come to terms with what it is that's going on, to even ask for help, all right? The ego stops you from reaching out and acknowledging that person's growth, all right? Usually if I see something in the person that I admire, I am not afraid to say, I like that. How did you do that? How can I do that? Can you teach me how to get to that point? That's what I am able to do, all right? But in other people who have not come to terms with that yet, they have the spirit of jealousy because they are lacking something within themselves, right? That hinders them from even acknowledging your growth in the first place. So all they want to do is criticize you without even knowing you, right? A person who has come to terms and done the work of self-improvement, a person who has taken control of their thoughts, will be considered an involved person. All right? An involved person is a person who is not afraid to ask for help. All right? So we have the spirit of jealousy that keeps you stuck, that keeps you in a state of envy, that because there is some lacking of some sort that's going on, you are not even able to come to terms with what it is that you need. Instead, you're finding every way to diminish this person, to criticize this person, because you have not gotten to the place of self-involvement, okay? An involved person is not afraid to ask for help. That person is not afraid of putting themselves out there and going after what it is that they want, because they've come to terms with knowing that if I want something and she has it, I'm going to ask her to teach me how to get it, without thinking anything other than that, or without even considering the fact that it might appear as though they are less than, because that doesn't even come at play. All right, that's what happens to an evolved person. that person views disappointment as just what it is, disappointment. All right, and that person will be able to embrace obstacles because they know obstacles are just hurdles that they're going to have to get through to get to their destination. It's as simple as that. So an evolved person embraces challenges as they come along because we know that it's just another step into the right direction. It's just another step into expanding your world. It's just another step of opening your mind to different experiences that you probably wouldn't have obtain if you hadn't gone through those challenges. Okay, that's what happens to an evolved person. An evolved person will no longer view challenges as deficiencies. Okay, will no longer view disappointment as deficiencies or looking at it as a stop sign, like, oh, it didn't work out for me this way, so that means I can't do it anymore and I'm not going to be able to do it anymore. An evolved person doesn't even consider that at all. Rather, we're focused on solutions. We're focused on, okay, it didn't work out for me this way. What can I do now to get past this point? Okay, maybe I did it this way. I need to do it this way. So all it does is opens your mind to new and evolved experiences. Okay, an evolved person is mindful of their energy. It's important to be mindful of your energy and the people you spend your energy on. An evolved person have come to terms with living authentically in your element. All right, and practicing mindfulness, which I talked about last week. That mindfulness is awareness of what's happening inside of you and outside of you. All right, so we want to be mindful. An evolved person will be mindful of what's happening around them and the people they are spending that energy on, because the energy is important, it's sacred, so we need to protect it. Okay, so now we'll be using that energy as a roadmap to observing the people and things that no longer serve us. That's what happens to an evolved person, because now you've gotten to know yourself. You have been through the challenges, you have been through the struggles, you have challenged yourself to the point of evolvement, right? Reliance. You got into the point where you kind of know yourself and what makes you happy. You are aware of what's happening inside of you as well as outside of you, and as a result, you will use that energy as a roadmap to help you observe what's going on. All right, and to decipher things and people that no longer serve you. All right. And it brings me to this idea that if others can't handle all the awesomeness that you come with, the awesomeness that you have worked so hard for and have accepted as part of who you are, I would say they can choke on your greatness. Hear me again when I say that. If people cannot come to terms with how amazing and awesome you are because you're living life authentically and on your own terms, they can choke on all your greatness. They can choke on everything that is you, because your life does not revolve around them. You're not here to please them. Okay, do not ever feel the need to sacrifice your own happiness because it will make another person feel uncomfortable. Their comfort is not yours to protect. It really isn't yours to protect. All right, so an evolved person does not feel the need to even do that. And once you find yourself in the situation where your energy is being compromised, they will have to choke on your greatness because you're not willing to sacrifice everything that makes you you to please someone else. Okay, it would just have to be that person's job to work on themselves and get to that level. They will have to measure up. All right, but you do not dumb down to that level to please them for whatever reason. They're just going to have to work harder to measure up to get to know who they are. Okay, align yourself with people who reflect who you are and are able to embrace you for all that you are. That's what happens to an evolved person. Your energy will yearn, I should say, to want to align with people who are of like mind, All right, people who are going through similar experiences, who have done the work and continue to do the work, where there is no envy or jealousy, and that's not anything that's even considered. Now we are working towards greatness, okay? So those kind of people will embrace you. Those people are people who are secure within themselves, all right? They will encourage you, and they will never find the need to tear you down, to make you feel less than, or even go out of their way to discredit you, right? Because it makes them feel good about themselves. All right. So now your energy is aligned with like energy. Remember that. Your energy is aligning with like energy, right? So you will be surrounded by people who will embrace you, who will want to see you grow, who will want to uplift you. I have those people in my life right now, okay? I have my coach in my life. I have my friends in my life. I have a lot of people in my life that have helped me get to this point and continue to help me evolve and continue to help me grow. All right? Those people are aligned with my energy, because I got to this place of self-involvement, self-improvement, and just working hard to get to know me and living this life, that those people or have been aligned into my circle. All right. So that's what happens to your energy when you have come to terms with who you are. It would no longer find a need to do those things that no longer serve you, or be around people that no longer serves you. Okay. Jealousy, if you should know, comes from a place of insecurity. That's just all it is. It comes from a place of insecurity, a place of lack. One thing, what someone has, but the ego underneath it all is not allowing you to humble yourself enough to ask for help. It's not. It's in the way. It's making you have this illusion that you are something that you're not. But in order to raise up another human being in the positive way by complimenting them or admiring them, you have this spirit of jealousy that hinders you from even acknowledging that. Okay, so I would say, because that spirit, it doesn't, jealousy and being humble, they do not go together. Okay, a spirit of jealousy does not allow you to be humble enough to ask for help. All right. So it's at the detriment of yourself, where you're stuck in this phase that doesn't allow you to move forward. Okay. But it is unfair to yourself to allow anyone, for that matter, an evolved person I'm talking about, it will be unfair to allow yourself to be around people that disrupt your peace. It's important. You want to be mindful of that. So once you have come to this place of recognizing your energy and what it aligns with, right? It will be unfair to you to be around people that disrupt your peace just because you want to make them comfortable. It's unfair to you. So remember that, okay? And if it happens, those people just don't need to be in your life, to be honest with you. Why be around people who want to criticize you? Why be around people who have nothing positive to say? Why being around people who will go out of the way to make you feel less than, because it makes them feel better about themselves, okay? So once you come to this place of self-evolvement, because you have worked, you continue to work, and you take pride in working to get you to be the best that you can be, you wouldn't find the need to have those people in your life anymore, all right? You will have to get rid of them. And it will be easier than you think, all right? They do not serve a purpose in your life that is conducive to your wellness anymore. Those people no longer serve a purpose that is conducive to your well-being, okay? And trust me when I tell you this, the universe will conspire to give you all that you want, because the universe feeds off energy. Remember that. The energy you give out is the energy you get. So if you're having this energy that you have worked and come to terms with who you are, your spirit doesn't want to be around negativity or people who are going to go out of their way. So when you find yourself around certain people who may want to go out of their way, and you find yourself dumbing yourself down in some ways to accommodate them, that tells you something about yourself. That tells you need to take a closer look at yourself and identifying those patterns that have kept you stuck. Identify those way of life that no longer serve you. That's what it's telling you. Every time your spirit is bothered, every time you get to the place where you're uncertain, uneasy, the universe is trying to tell you that you're not aligning yourself and your spirit in the right places with the right people, okay? Because once you do and you get rid of all that negative energy, everything will conspire to bring you what you want. The universe will conspire to get you exactly what you want because you are doing the work and you continue to do so to keep your mind in a good state. Remember that, okay? I am no longer in the place where I am afraid to get rid of people or to lose people that no longer serve me. People that don't bring me joy anymore or no longer have a purpose in my life, okay? I am only interested in like energy. For me, Salome, I'm only interested in like energy. So when I notice the energy is off, I don't want to be a part of that. I really don't want to be a part of that because I have worked hard to get to this point and I'll continue to work hard. And I'm sure a lot of you are working hard. So when you find yourself being jealous of someone, know that it's coming from a place of insecurity and the spirit of lack. Remember that, okay? So that brings me to this example that just so resonates with me, where when I started to pay attention to my energy, like the energy of calmness versus the energy of anger, because I placed myself in a position where my energy was compromised, all right? Because again, I was in the place of trying to make other people feel comfortable, even though it no longer aligned with who I was at the time and who I am. I was willing to sacrifice myself to be around certain energies that there just was not conducive for my well-being, okay? So I found myself being so upset one time at this person, and